Hey, it's so good to have you here. If no one's told you today, you're beautiful, you're powerful, and you are so much more magnetic than you even realize. Today, I want to let you in on a little secret. See, there's a moment in every romantic connection that carries more weight than we give it credit for. It's not the first date. It's not the goodnight hug. It's that incredible, delicious, nerve-tingling moment right before the first kiss. You know the one I'm talking about. You're standing close. The world suddenly goes quiet. You can feel his breath. Your eyes lock, your heart is racing, and then there's that one single second where time slows down, that space between anticipation and action. Now, most people treat that moment like it's just a bridge to the kiss. But what if I told you that tiny moment is actually one of your most powerful opportunities? Because what you say right before the kiss can change everything. It's the difference between a kiss he remembers for a night and a kiss he remembers for the rest of his life. So today, giving you 5 words every man wants to hear before a kiss. These aren't random compliments. These are power phrases, emotional triggers, subtle cues that tell him you see him, you want him, and you're not afraid to say it. Because when you learn how to speak into his desire, his heart, and his imagination, that's when he falls. Not just into a kiss, but into you. Let's get into it. I've wanted this all day. Just 5 simple words, but when said in the right moment, with sincerity, softness, and a little sparkle in your eye, they can completely disarm a man. Because here's what's really happening beneath the surface when you say that. You're not just making a casual comment. You're not just leading into a kiss. You're revealing something. You're letting him in on your inner world. You're pulling back the curtain on your desire and saying, hey, you've been on my mind, not for a second, not for a fleeting moment, all day. That means he hasn't just captured your attention in the heat of the moment. He's been living rent-free in your head since way before this kiss was even about to happen. And men, just like women, crave to feel wanted, desired, not just as a reaction to what they do in the moment, but because of who they are, what they make you feel, and how deeply they affect you. And when you say, I've wanted this all day, what you're really telling him is that he has power over you, but in a beautiful, vulnerable, sexy way. You're saying, I've been feeling this pull toward you, and I'm done pretending I'm not. This is not about giving up control. It's not about putting yourself at a disadvantage. In fact, it's the opposite. It's owning your desire. It's you saying, I'm not waiting for you to make the first move. I'm acknowledging what I feel and I'm letting it out. Confidence isn't about who chases who. It's about who's secure enough to admit what they feel without needing a guarantee in return. And when a woman says, I've wanted this all day, she's not begging. She's not seeking approval. She's claiming her truth. And that kind of confidence, that kind of feminine boldness, it melts a man. Because here's something a lot of people misunderstand about men. Yes, they want to feel masculine. Yes, they want to lead sometimes, but more than anything, they want to feel chosen, desired. They want to know that the woman in front of them is fully present, fully engaged, and fully in it. That phrase, I've wanted this all day, tells him that you haven't just stumbled into this kiss. You've been waiting for it, craving it, playing it over in your head during work meetings, on your drive home while you were getting dressed. And now that the moment is finally here, you're not hiding it. You're not downplaying it. You're leaning in. And that's magnetic. Men are used to feeling like they have to work for every inch of emotional intimacy, like they have to guess, chase, decode, mix signals. So when a woman comes along who's just real, who owns what she wants, who makes him feel like the center of her world, for a moment, it hits different, it lands, it stays with him. Because in a world where most people are playing it cool, avoiding vulnerability and keeping things casual to protect their egos, you showed up. You said what you felt. And you did it with elegance, warmth, and that little mischievous glint in your eye that says, you have no idea how long I've been waiting for this. And it's not just the words themselves, it's how you say them. It's the way you lean in just a little, the softness in your voice, the pause between the last word and the kiss. It's in the timing, the tone, the tenderness. And when he hears those words, he relaxes. He exhales, he forgets every doubt, every overthinking thought, and just feels. In that moment, you're not just kissing him, you're giving him a memory, you're creating a story that he'll replay in his head when he's alone at night, wondering how you managed to get under his skin like that. And he'll keep coming back to that moment, not because it was the most technically perfect kiss of his life, But because it made him feel something he doesn't get to feel often enough, desired, seen, wanted with intention, that's the power of those 5 words. I wanted this all day. And when you say them with full confidence, you don't just set the mood for the kiss, you set the tone for the entire connection, because kisses fade, but how you make him feel before the kiss, that is unforgettable. You drive me so crazy. It's playful, it's powerful, and when said at just the right moment, it unlocks something deep inside him that he won't know how to explain, but won't be able to forget. This phrase works because it straddles 2 irresistible energies, vulnerability and teasing. When you say, you drive me so crazy, what you're really doing is letting him know that he's gotten under your skin in the best possible way. He's disrupted your calm, shaken your routine, made you feel something you weren't expecting. And now you can't help but react to him. And that feeling, that sense that he's affected you emotionally, physically, mentally, that's deeply validating for a man. Because men, for all their confidence, don't walk through the world assuming they've had an impact on you. Most of them are navigating the same fears you are. Does she like me? Am I doing too much? Is she into this or just being polite? So when you look at him with a smirk and say, you drive me so crazy, you're clearing all that noise. You're saying, yes, you affect me. Yes, I've noticed the way you touch me, talk to me, tease me. And yes, I like it more than I probably should. It tells him he's having an effect on you. And that's one of the most irresistible things you can do. Let someone know without ego or games that they've made you feel something strong, something real, something that's throwing you off balance in the most delicious way. This line has flirtation built into it, but it also has a beautiful feminine surrender to it. Because when you say it, you're not saying, I'm obsessed with you. You're not handing over your power. You're saying, I'm not immune to you. You've got a hold on me and I kind of like it. That's very different from just giving him a compliment. A compliment is nice. But this is emotional seduction. And it gets even better depending on how you say it. Say it with a smile and it's playful. Say it with a whisper and it's intimate. Say it with a slight gasp as you look into his eyes and it's magnetic. The beauty of this phrase is that it adapts to the energy of the moment. Whether you're sitting close on a couch, caught in a moment of laughter and tension, or standing still just inches from his lips, this line takes what you're both already feeling and amplifies it. And he'll love it, because not only does it tell him you're attracted to him, it also tells him you're losing your cool a little bit. And when a confident, grounded woman lets her guard down just enough to show she's being swept up in the moment, it drives a man wild. Not because he wants you off balance, but because he wants to know he's not the only one feeling something intense. That's the secret to chemistry. It's not just about physical attraction, it's about emotional permission. When you say, you drive me so crazy, you're giving him permission to drop his guard, to stop overthinking and just feel with you. He doesn't have to read between the lines. He doesn't have to wonder what you're thinking. He knows he's gotten to you, and what that does for him emotionally, psychologically, is huge. It makes him feel powerful in the best kind of way, not because he's dominating the moment, but because he's connecting with you. And that's what keeps a man coming back, because let's be honest, the world is full of people playing it safe, keeping it casual, holding back their emotions to avoid looking too eager. So when a woman shows up and says, with a smile and a little fire in her voice, you drive me so crazy, she stands out. She becomes the story, the spark, the person he can't stop thinking about later that night. And here's the best part. It's authentic. You're not saying it because it's a line. You're saying it because you mean it. Because something about the way he looks at you, the way he touches your hand, the way he leans in just a little closer, it does drive you crazy, and you're not afraid to say it. That's sexy. That's rare, that's unforgettable. So don't hold back, because when you say those 5 words with confidence, playfulness, and presence, you're not just making the moment hotter, you're making him fall. I love how you take control. It's just a sentence. But when it's said at the right moment, close, warm, eyes locked, it doesn't just flatter him. It affirms something he deeply wants to feel, but rarely hears from anyone else. See, men, especially men who are emotionally available, grounded, and relationship ready, aren't just looking for someone to kiss. They're looking for someone who sees them, who notices the parts of themselves they're proud of, but that the world often overlooks. And one of those things, his ability to lead. Whether it's guiding the rhythm of a kiss, putting his hand on the small of your back, or leaning in without asking for permission. When a man takes charge with confidence and care, he wants to know it lands, that it's felt, that it matters to you. So when you breathe out those words, I love how you take control, what he hears is, I see you in your masculine energy. I feel it. And I'm not just okay with it, I'm turned on by it. And that's powerful. Because in a world that can sometimes blur the lines between being assertive and being aggressive, many good men hesitate to lead. They worry they'll overstep, come on too strong, or misread your signals. And that hesitation can kill the chemistry. But when you let him know directly, confidently, that his control excites you, you remove all that hesitation. You give him permission to lean in, to lead, to express his desire without second guessing himself. And here's what's even more important. You're not just complimenting what he does, you're responding to how he makes you feel. That's the distinction most people miss. This isn't about praising dominance. It's about showing appreciation for the energy he brings into the moment, the safety, the decisiveness, the presence. When a man leads well, it's about attuning to you, reading your body, reading your breath, being so in sync with you that you want to surrender to the moment. And when you tell him, I love how you take control, you're telling him you trust him. You're saying, I feel safe with you. I feel excited by you. I feel like I can let go because you're here guiding this. That level of trust, that kind of surrender, that's intoxicating to a man who's emotionally mature. It tells him you're not just physically into him. You're present. You're giving him feedback in the most beautiful, vulnerable way possible by feeling him and responding in real time. And that's what men remember. Not just the kiss, not just the body language, but the emotional imprint that came with it. Because when you whisper something like, I love how you take control, he doesn't just hear admiration, he feels desired, empowered, masculine in a way that's deeply validating, not performative. And that hits him on a primal level. It connects to something ancient, something wired deep in his DNA. The part of him that wants to protect, to lead, to be fully present in the moment with you, not just physically, but emotionally. And the best part, you're not giving up your power, you're sharing it, because it takes strength to acknowledge that someone else's confidence turns you on. It takes real self-assurance to say, I see you leading, and it's making me want you even more. That's not weakness. That's femininity in its most radiant, magnetic form. And trust me, he won't forget it, because men can get physical connection anywhere, but emotional affirmation, that's rare. That's what creates obsession. That's what makes him think about you long after you've walked away, not because you gave him a compliment, but because you gave him a moment of truth. You said something real, and you made him feel like the man he wants to be with you. So the next time things get close, his hands on your waist, the energy's electric, don't be afraid to look into his eyes, smile softly and say it, I love how you take control. Because in that moment, you're not just giving him permission, you're giving him an experience. And that's what he'll crave again and again. You make me feel so safe. Now, if you're thinking that sounds a little soft, maybe even a little too tender for a moment before a kiss, let me tell you something. This is one of the most powerful things you can ever say to a man, especially when he's about to kiss you. Because most people think that attraction is all about thrill, chemistry, fire. And yes, all of that matters. But underneath all the fire, there has to be safety. And when a woman looks at a man just before that intimate moment and says, you make me feel so safe, she's not just praising him. She's handing him her trust. She's saying, I feel seen by you. I feel protected. I feel like I can let my guard down in a world that constantly tells me to keep it up. That is everything. Because here's the truth most people overlook. Safety is the foundation of real intimacy. It's what allows the nervous system to relax, the body to soften, the heart to open. And for a man who cares about you, who wants to connect with you, not just physically, but emotionally, those words mean everything. You make me feel so safe. Not you're hot, not you're sexy, not even you're amazing, but safe. That tells him that his presence, the way he holds you, the way he looks at you, the way he's showing up right now, it's working. It's registering in your body as comfort, warmth, calm. And at the same time, it's creating a space where your attraction for him can actually expand. Because real passion doesn't thrive in chaos, it thrives in presence, in being able to lose yourself in a moment, knowing the person with you isn't going to drop you, pressure you, or turn the moment into something transactional. So when you say, you make me feel so safe, what you're really doing is deepening the experience. You're not just letting the kiss happen, you're anchoring it in emotion, you're giving it context, meaning, something that goes beyond the physical. And here's what's beautiful. When a man hears that, it pulls him even deeper into his own masculine strength. Because now it's not just about how he feels in the kiss. It's about how you're feeling with him. He becomes aware that his energy, his presence, his choices in that moment are making you feel held, protected, cherished. And that gives him purpose. Because a man who's worth your time doesn't just want to be the reason you blush. He wants to be the reason you feel secure, relaxed, completely at ease.